Guys, welcome back to the Frame Shift Podcast. Today we got Jordan Torres, my boy JT. We've shot fitness content together, a fuckload of fitness content together. We've done a whole bunch together. He is the model for a number of your favorite brands. Bro, welcome to the Frame Shift.
Well, thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Bro,
Let's talk some shit.
let's talk some shit. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
So, bro, you're from Puerto Rico? Born in Puerto Rico?
So I am Puerto Rican, but I was born and raised in New York, and now I reside in Puerto Rico.
Okay. When did you make that? When did you flip over?
So now I'm going on 2 years.
Oh, shit. So
2 years, man.
I forgot it was that recently.
Yeah.
Bro, how is it? What is that like?
So I get that question a lot, and it's a very good question because I feel like we all go through life, right, trying to find the one place that brings us peace.
Okay.
And I've been to Puerto Rico on multiple occasions from just vacation, and every time I've landed in Puerto Rico, I've instantly felt happy.
Yeah.
Every single time. So now that I'm living there, man, it's could have been the best thing, man. I'm chilling, man. I'm at peace. You know, I'm probably getting a little too lazy sometimes, but I'm in a good place.
Bro, you're enjoying yourself. You're making your money. You're happy. It's important. It's what's important. And Puerto Rico, it's a U.S. territory, right? Mm-hmm. So you do or don't need your passport to...
You don't.
So
a lot of people think that you need your passport. You were one of them, actually.
I was, guys. I was.
But yeah, you don't. It is technically a part of the U.S., but we like to say we're our own island, which we are.
Your own island. I mean, you are your own island.
Yeah.
And that was recent that happened. So you've been operating as your own island for a while before this.
Yeah.
When we take it to New York, what was that like for you? How was New York overall?
There's a lot of things to think about when you think of New York. New York is obviously one of the greatest cities. I always said that. I'm blessed to be born and raised from there. But I grew up in what we call the trenches of New York. Excuse me, the Bronx. And, you know, I don't take anything away from it because it made me the man I am today. You built that toughness, that grit.
That hustle.
Yeah, but it could cause a lot of stress on you as well, you know. But New York is an amazing place, man. I feel like it has changed a lot as well in certain areas.
For the better or the worse? I guess it's different per area.
It all depends. Yeah, some areas got better, some areas got worse, you know. I think that's anywhere you go in this world, actually, you know. But me personally, I don't want to live like that anymore. So I left New York young, man. I left New York at a young age. I do go back. Mom is a straight New Yorker.
She still live there?
Yeah, she still lives there, but she's always traveling with me as well. But it's a good place, but I grew out of it.
Is your mom part of your team? Do you have her in any position, like, I don't know, some athletes you see, like, make their mom their manager? Does she...
I would say she isn't my manager. She's a part of the team, though. She's a part of the team, but she just benefits from the success. She's chilling. My mom deserves it, though.
Nothing wrong with that.
Retired.
Yeah, she took care of you for long enough, right?
Exactly.
Now it's your turn.
Yep.
So she does she have her own room in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's her house, too.
Okay.
You know, right now I have 4 properties.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I have 2 in Puerto Rico and 1 in Florida and 1 in New York.
Oh, so you're diversified then.
Yeah.
There you go.
But Puerto Rico's her favorite place, obviously. Mom was born and raised there.
Which do you prefer? Yeah, obviously, I guess you prefer
I think
Puerto
anywhere
Rico.
with me.
No, I mean, which do you prefer? I guess Puerto Rico.
Me personally?
Yeah.
Puerto Rico by far.
Yeah. Would you just live there? If you could, forget about taxes, forget about payment, forget about money. If you could just live there all year round, would you?
So I don't think I could live anywhere all year round.
I feel that. Okay.
Yeah. I was having this conversation with my homie. I like to travel. Obviously, I'll probably spend most of my time in Puerto Rico because it is a very relaxing, you know, it's a different pace of life. But eventually when I have a family one day, you know, I think I'm going to reside in New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bringing it back.
But in the deep ends of New York, you know, I'm thinking like Long Island or maybe, you know, maybe even Jersey or, you know.
I'm from Jersey,
somewhere.
bro.
Yeah, it's just up. So we'll see though when it gets to that. When it's time to cross that bridge.
Yeah.
But for now, PR forever.
I feel that. I'm gonna get that out there sooner than later, bro.
You have to.
I'm getting my real ID bullshit on June or July, something. The appointment's set.
Okay.
As soon as that's handled, because I fucked that up. I'm gonna take the blame there. I'm gonna take that.
I was trying to get this guy out to Puerto Rico for like 2 months.
Yeah, more than that, bro. I'm putting it.
And then you're telling me, yeah, I'll just come for a day. We'll film for one day. And I'm like, bro, it's like an 8-hour flight. You're gonna want to spend at least. I wanted to show you, eat some good food, show you the vibes,
No,
but we'll work it out.
We going as soon as I get that shit.
Yeah,
week 1. I'm here for it.
Let's do it.
Literally. So, I used to watch a lot of Logan Paul. I thought how he built his team and all that was incredible, and I studied that very closely. He then picked camp up from LA, moved to Puerto Rico. Do you guys cross paths at all ever?
So we actually live in the same community.
Okay.
Yeah. So him and his brother lived in Dorado. I have mutual friends with them as well. Their gym is not too far from me. It's probably like 3 minutes. So yeah, we have cross paths. There's a lot of people living on the island as well that I've crossed paths with. Puerto Rico is growing on a crazy rate, man. It's growing. And what I love most about it, everybody that visits Puerto Rico has nothing negative to say about it. From somebody who's really wealthy, from somebody that's, like everybody goes there and we're so welcoming, especially for somebody like me. I get a lot of love there, and it's the island of love, man.
Is Puerto Rico, is housing inexpensive out there compared to the States?
So people tend to think that, but it's obviously California, New York rates, like you can't compare. But it's not they have, more affordable housing as well, I would say. But depending on where you at in Puerto Rico, it's a pretty ticket,
But it's not California.
Nah.
Nothing's California.
Nah.
What is it compared to? Is it like Texas prices, Nashville? Is it like what is?
I guess it's depending on.
Yeah, so that's a I would say like you can get a nice home and like with a Texas price out there for sure. My home was it was a little bit heftier because where I live, which I can't disclose, but
exact address, please. Yeah, address, phone number.
We don't want that. But so yeah, but like it's. To compare it, like, yeah, Texas, I was Tennessee, like, but, like, you can, like, what can get you to $1 million out there is going to cost you $8 million, or $6 million here, like.
Wow. I just thought of an interesting question. So, you guys probably have chickens there, but, like, the price of eggs and milk, is that super high because you're an island, or, and maybe not eggs and milk specifically, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it does go up. Depending on it's like, I guess how the economy is going. Mm-hmm. But one thing I would say, besides prices, the eggs and everything, me personally, tastes better.
I believe no,
it's all homegrown.
I grew up on natural, like like bro. My mom used to go to the Amish back in the day and get like raw milk. It was illegal. So she crossed state lines. Yeah. I might need to bleep this. I don't know. But like literally she would like bring truckfuls. Yeah. Like literally fill the back of her Volvo station wagon with just like raw meat, raw eggs, raw everything.
I actually met
golden yolks.
I was in Orlando, and like everywhere you go in Orlando, a lot of people are they're living there, they're visiting, from certain places, and they work there. So my waitress, she was actually from Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, you from PR? She's like, yeah, I come here a couple months out of the year. I was like, oh, that's dope. I was like, I live in Puerto Rico, whatever. And I was like, she's like, yeah, I live on a farm. I was like, oh, do you have eggs? Like, can I buy eggs from you guys? And she was like, yeah, absolutely. Like, take our number. Like, so now I get about
the best of the
60
best.
Eggs. So it's worth it because that's, I eat a lot of eggs.
I was just going to say, you have muscles.
Yeah.
You got to take care of those muscles.
Yeah. And eggs. They're $28 a dozen.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, yo, that's just, how big is the island? Like you said, like, is it?
So The exact measurements, I think.
I don't need the footage. Okay.
Okay. I was like,
So go and take 2 hours or 4 hours across the island.
so you can get to each end of the island in like 3.5 hours.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So, but it's crazy, man, because like each city in Puerto Rico is so different. You know, like everything has its own touch, you know? So I was actually talking to like one of my friends. I was like, yo, I would love to just do like a mini tour through Puerto Rico and pick out, and vlog it and just pick out like the favorites of each, you know, like if you like, you know, 100%. New York has pizza, you know, like that type of vibe. But like if I go here, like they got the best patelillos. If I go there, it's the best mofongo. If I go there, you know, like
bro, the day I come, we got to do that. I'll come for a couple days, and one of those days has to be
we jump in a Jeep and just cruise through the island. Because I've been living there, bro, and I still haven't touched many parts of the island just because I'm such an introvert, bro. I'm such a homebody.
I'm the same way.
So I like to just chill in the crib. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go this weekend. And it comes Friday. I'm like,
I got to do this instead.
Stay home. I'm like, who's fighting this weekend?
Yeah. So Puerto Rico versus New York. Give me the biggest differences. Give me, you know, favorite parts of each. What's going to make you raise your kids in New York, like you said, versus Puerto Rico?
It's a really good question. So, Puerto Rico versus New York, if it was a battle, I'm picking Puerto Rico for myself. But it's completely different. It's apples and oranges. It's like even if I was compared New York to LA, you know, because I lived in LA for 10 years. But it's an island, you know, so like you get used to different things. Timing's a lot slower. Me being in New York, man, I got such used to a fast life. You know,
New York
like
is fast.
I think I developed anxiety from living in New York because it's like you're always on go, and then like the people around you, it's just a very like fast energy, which it's okay to have that, you know, but like sometimes you don't have to stay in that, you know. That was my biggest thing. Obviously New York, you have, you know, many more restaurants, many more places to shop and all that stuff. Puerto Rico's more, you know, smaller, and it's a lot of restaurants, but there's more pop shops, you know, which is all the real good food,
for real,
homegrown food as well. But you can't take away from New York. New York has great food too. But Puerto Rico has the best beaches, you know, amazing beaches.
There you go.
You know, and I just think the timing of life is just so much cool and relaxed, man, being by the ocean. You know, New York is just a city life. You know, it's very...
You don't want to hang out by that ocean. Yeah. You got the harbor.
Yeah. You know? So there's certain beaches that got cool spots you could go to in New York, but like after living in PR, man, like you tell me, I probably won't, you know, it's rare, but if you go out to the Hamptons and stuff, you know, that's a vibe. But I'm all Puerto Rico right now. And then I think the reason why I want to raise my family one day, you know, when I have a family in New York, is just because I want my kids to feel that, you know, that city vibe and build that gritness and that toughness, you know, and but then, you know, we'll vacation in Puerto Rico and stuff like that, you know, God willing, but who knows, man.
You'll still have your houses there.
Yeah, but maybe I just raise my kids in PR. Like when the time comes, the time comes. You really don't know.
Yeah. But you didn't mention LA though. What about LA? Would you ever raise your family in LA?
Josh is from LA, boys.
So, I don't think so. Josh.
Because they're harder. They're hard. They're like New York has that reputation, right? Maybe Puerto Rico, they're harder, right? Like, do you guys think that? Like maybe just East Coast in general, right? They're like harder. West Coast is like
faster paced,
like softer.
Yeah, West Coast is definitely so. I'm an East Coaster, so I always go with the East Coast. You know, that's just me personally. But West Coast definitely has its toughness and roughness as well. But what I do like about the West Coast is that you guys do have a slower pace. And, you know, like, I remember one of my homies came to visit me when I was living out here. He's like, yo, bro, why you walking so slow?
Yeah.
You know?
You make LA sound like Oklahoma or something compared to New York.
You know, he's like, why you walking so slow? Like, I'm like, bro, it's calm. Like, you know, because when New York, when you walking through Upper West Side, you know, you're bumping into people. Like, you know, public trains, like even the public transportation in New York is way different compared to here, you know? But I think that's what makes the country cool, you know. Everything is just so, and you guys have the amazing beaches, you know, like.
So you just said Puerto Rico had the amazing beaches. So which is better now, LA beaches or Puerto Rican beaches?
Puerto Rico.
Yeah, LA. Honestly, LA beaches are shit. The weather here is great. I'll give you the weather.
But the water is so cold here.
Yeah, it sucks.
The ocean is like the
Atlantic is warm.
Bro, it's crazy, you know, but it feels good. But like,
no, it don't feel good. It's cold.
when it's super
Feels like
hot,
an ice
you
bath.
know? But, bro, some of the beaches in Puerto Rico, I'll show you pictures, bro. Amazing sunsets, you know, like it's crazy. It's
you
crazy.
make it like you make it sound so good. Like, I actually want to. I'm thinking of Texas, Nashville, but like I might be throwing PR in the mix.
No. My plan is once I'm fully remote, like whether that be courses, whatever it is. Oh, it's probably PR.
Bro, I'm telling you.
Wow.
I have people.
And you moving in the you got it, bro.
I'm coming too. I'm coming
Don't
too.
worry. I don't forget about my team.
There we go.
I got friends that, one of my friends grew up in Oregon, like totally different vibe. Bro, he came to Puerto Rico. He thought about moving there. You just have to go there to sense that vibe, like I can't compare to anywhere else, man. Honestly.
I really only know Dorado. And was it San Juan? Is that where the airport is?
Yeah, that's where you land.
Those are the only two. You mentioned that there's like multiple cities and like whole community. Like
yeah, so many. So
what's your favorite one too? On top of it, whatever you're about to say.
So San Juan's the major city. That's where everybody from the outskirts will come, and obviously like there's another airport which is Aguadilla, which is, out by me. So there's like Maya West, there's Caguas, Humacao, Bayamón, Guaynabo, like it's a lot, it's a lot of different pueblos. But my personal favorite, well, I haven't got to many, Rincon is also a beautiful place, Aguadilla. But bro, it's so many. Rincon is like the surfer side. It's where a lot of people go surfing. There's a lot of nice beaches there. But I think my personal fave after, I would have to say, man, probably Rincon.
Okay.
Like being out there it's an amazing feeling, like, and I also love San Juan as well, just because it's the stomping ground.
It's like New York.
Yeah, it's just that vibe. And I also love where I live too, man. But yeah.
What was your first big break in modeling? And did it happen in New York?
Yeah. So I think probably. So this could go both ways. Like, what do you mean? Like, when popularity, financials, like campaign wise? Yeah. So like
the first time. So you're out here. I'll use myself. Struggling. Independent jobs here and there, just trying to find it. And then I had my first big break, my first like gig, like my first consistent, like decent paying thing, like where I could survive off this kind of thing. Sort of like that. Like, so it might have been popularity, but I guess more financially.
Yeah. So I'll give you two answers for that. One of the first big breaks for me was I landed a fragrance, a Versace fragrance, which was cool.
Yeah.
And fragrances pay well. So that was and it was one of the, big campaigns that, as a model that you want to have that as a credential. So, and I was actually living out here at the time and I was struggling. So when that came about, that was like kind of like a push to like save me, But prior coming to LA, I landed about 3 nationals commercials. So I had no idea. I went to one commercial audition and I was like, at the time, like my money was running low. I moved here with $1,000.
Bro, I know the drill.
Yeah, you already know how it goes. 19 years old, packed my shit, bounced.
Drove out here.
Yeah, well, I flew, but I sold my one of my favorite pair of Jordans to my best friend. I'm like, yo, book me a flight.
Yeah,
that's my return. Like,
find a way to win.
Yeah, so I'm like, yo, book me this flight. I'll give you these J's. Get me on the plane to LA. Best J's I ever sold, but. So I get out here and things are cooking, things are brewing, and then as time is coming to an end, now I'm going to this last audition. My agent called me like, hey, you should go to this audition. It's for Maybelline, like the makeup. But they're looking for basketball players. I hoop, like, so.
From New York.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, let me get out there. Bro, I had to like hitch a ride with somebody, because I couldn't even afford like Uber or anything. So one of my homies actually had the same audition, but he's like, yo, I don't hoop like that. Like, I'm not sure what they're gonna make me do. I'm like, bro, just go. Like, just say you hoop. You know?
Give me the ride.
Yeah. I'm like, let's just go together. Like, if one of us gets it, cool. So long story short, we get there. I'm like one of the last persons to audition. I shoot the ball, whatever, they make me dribble a little bit. Like, yeah, have you ever had like experience playing basketball? I'm like, yeah, I played out in high school, you know, tried out in college, whatever. He's like, all right, cool. So I'm not thinking anything of this though. You know, I'm like, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, whatever. So they call me 2 days later. He's like, hey, you booked it. I was like, oh, sweet. Like, that's amazing news, you know? Like, okay, how much is it? That's the first thing I asked because I'm broke, you know? I'm like, okay, how much is this thing?
Can I pay rent this month?
Yeah, like, am I going to get by? He's like, oh, it's $686. I'm like, and then plus, you know, you're Skyped in or whatever. I'm like, damn, bro. Like, all right, $1,000, I get me by for a month, you know? I hopefully land something. Whatever, I go shoot this commercial, and I shoot it with, like, at the time, this was a while back, I shot it with, like, 5 top Victoria's Secret models.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and they basically they turned, like, downtown LA, like, a parking lot to, like, a New York basketball court. So it fit me, like, it was my, you know, it fit me
sick.
Perfect. And then they're walking by, whatever, and I'm playing basketball, and then I stop and look at the girls, and then the ball hits me in my head, and then the girls are, like, laughing, so it cuts, whatever. So as a commercial, you want your time. You need your frames to get that check. So I'm like, all right, this is cool. At least I got, you know, I'm gonna be on TV. My mom's gonna see it, whatever.
Yeah.
Not thinking anything of it. So, bro, at the time it was Miss Universe. Me and my mom's home. We're kicking in, we're watching TV. My commercial aired like 30 times. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I already got paid $1,000 for it. You know, like, I'm not tripping.
And you got paid for every time it aired.
So then I get a check in the mail, and I'm like, what?
This is more than $686, boys.
Bro, it was $680 every time the commercial ran. It was residual, excuse me. I was like,
Yo.
bro, I was praying that commercial was airing. You know, so every time I see it, I'm like, well, I'm good for another month. I'm good for another 2 months. So that was a big break in the commercial market. And then obviously once my social media blew up and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I love how you talk about the basketball hitting you in the head because, like, you can make fun of yourself and you're okay with that. There's so many models that are just like, I don't want to be made fun. You know, it's like they would never want that to be, but it's like you could just, these hot girls are seeing you get it's like, it's so cool, you know, and you seem to be like, you were cool with it. And I like that.
No, yeah. I'm, you know, obviously like me being a pretty boy and being a model, I'm a big kid, man. Like, I don't really tie into too many things. I don't really think that into, because I know who I am. You know, I'm very confident. And I think that's why I'm at where I'm at in my life.
100%.
That was the best fucking investment you made in probably your whole life, those J's.
Yeah.
Bro.
Literally.
Imagine you didn't get that flight.
I know. Now that, because this is the first time I have mentioned that in that sense, I've always like shied away from it. I've mentioned it before, but like when you think of it like that, and that's still my homie to this day, like that's still my best friend. Yeah.
Better be.
That was one of the best investments, man. Because now where I'm at in my life is, you know, that just doing that and getting here opened doors to other things.
Yeah.
You know.
What was your favorite brand you think to work with?
I've worked with a lot of brands, but I think one of my favorites was, so my name is Jordan because Michael Jordan.
Okay.
You know, my brother that passed away, rest in peace, his favorite basketball player was Jordan. And when he went to the hospital, mom was like, what should we name him? And they were like, Jordan. Damn. So I think when I worked with Nike, I was shooting Air Jordan. So that was kind of like a crazy moment, like a crazy, like, you know,
that's a real
universe moment. Yeah. So, and I've worked with Nike I was working with them for multiple months, you know, couple years. So I think that was a very cool experience for me, just being a kid from the Bronx, being named Jordan, and then working with Jordan, shooting for Nike, you know.
Bro.
So Nike is one of my favorites. That
sure. Sounds like a cool full circle moment too, where because when you said you had to sell your Jordans to come out here, and now you're working with Nike.
Look at that,
and it's like,
see, I didn't even.
Yo,
that's awesome.
And you better cut you another check.
And you bought those Jordans back, right? Well, not the same ones, but I'm sure you.
Yo,
yeah.
Did you buy? You should frame those.
No, so those are one of my favorite J's. It was the cement threes. And I actually have like 3 pairs now.
There you go. Was there ever a moment where you always hear about weird shit happening? Mm-hmm. Was there ever any weird shit that ever happened? Or potential could have happened.
Yeah. Me personally, man, nah, just because I've said previously, I've always stood 10 toes. I've always heard, you know, like multiple things. I think that's anything now. And, you know, like there's a lot of unprofessional things, you know, especially me being a hot guy and stuff like that, you know. But I'm big on energy, you know, and I always told myself my biggest thing was like, you know, thank God for social media because it allowed me to kind of make my own lane and build my own wave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I knew for some reason, like I never cared to be the biggest model or, you know, the most popular or whatever. That wasn't my thing. If I was able to just take care of myself and take care of my family, I was happy. But I knew there was ways you know what, I can use this opportunity to make money and then take this money and turn it into something else, you know? So when social media came into place, there was a lot of things that I didn't really care about anymore. I just cared about building my brand and my social media, you know? So I didn't have to deal with anything of that. You know, I didn't want to have to rely on that, you know what I'm saying? So I've been good, man. You know, I think the only thing that pretty much affected me was just being told no 3,000 times or, you know, like take a toll on your mental health. Yeah, it just makes it tough. And then like playing the game and but social media is a blessing and a curse, man. I have to say.
So for these modeling roles, are you going on doing an audition or something? Is that an online thing, an in-person thing?
So it's different.
And speak to the up and coming models who need to know how to do this.
Yeah, I got you. Well, now as the industry's changed so much, man. It changed so much that like and I was saying this, man, there's so much more opportunity. So like if you want to go out there and get it, you know, because right now there's so much more chances and like, you know, yes, I'm not saying it's easy or whatever, but there's more things that people are having access to.
There's more opportunity.
You know what I'm saying?
You just got to take it.
Exactly. So for modeling, you go on castings, you know, and basically you have your portfolio, which is your book, and then they give you a comm card with your sizes, your measurements, and everything, and then you go to this casting. They'll take some raw digitals of you. They'll ask you, you know, to do some poses or whatever at work, and then if they like you, you get a call back or you get to go see auditions. You have to act out or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But everything has changed so much. So I'm at a point in my life where, you know, clients would just reach out to my agent or, you know, like direct bookings and stuff like that.
You put the work in.
I did, thank God.
There you go.
A lot of work.
Did you ever have a bad audition when you were younger, like where you just it's like, fuck, what the fuck was I just doing?
To be honest, bro, I smoked a couple auditions.
Yeah.
So transitioning into the acting, you know, I've always wanted to be an actor because I love movies. I love creating. I have a lot of emotional pain to draw on. So I love like tapping into that, using it in your work, you know. But there was many auditions that I've gotten that, you know, like sometimes I got so excited for it and I got in my head about, you know. And my biggest thing was always reciting lines. Like I always like to memorize the lines. But sometimes when you focus too much on the lines, you don't allow your emotions to draw. You know what I'm saying?
It's not real. Or it's not emotionally real.
Exactly. You're not actually playing the character.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I have walked into auditions that like...
You wish you had back?
If I can go back in time, yeah, I would do things a bit differently. But the problem was, man, I was so broke and hungry that like I was just trying to go to all these auditions just to land a gig to make money.
No, I know, bro. I know.
It was tough, man. It was tough coming up. So for me, I wasn't, you know, I was just like, yeah, I need this to get money. I need to like survive off of this, you know. And now that I go back in time, now that it's not about the money, you know. So, but it is what it is, man. You know, you learn, you live and you learn. So anybody out there that's trying to do it, man, make sure you have food to eat, you know, like put your ego aside, make sure you're making some money and go on these auditions, you know what I'm saying? Chase your dreams, but make sure you're also taking care of yourself because it's hard, man.
One thing that I did when I moved out here was I probably sent 500 cold DMs to artists to shoot their music videos when I first moved out here.
Nice.
Just trying to build a network.
That's hard, man.
Can you kind of like, can you DM these agents or can you?
So thankfully, I had an agency when I came out here, so I got the castings. You know, they sent me the castings and everything. But I would reach out to certain photographers or, you know, certain editorials, you know, like stuff like that, or, you know, just making that connection and just try to do really good at these auditions, because those are people that they remember. You know, you remember that. But I think at that moment, man, when I was coming up, I think it was, if you got it, you got it. You know?
Exactly.
You know,
I know exactly what you mean.
And then it came to a point where, you know, social media started, then I started to go in for movie roles, and they're like, oh, how many followers does you have? Like, you know, how many followers do you have?
Yeah.
All right,
it's just built-in marketing for them.
We're going to go with this guy because he has this many followers, you know?
Yeah.
So it has changed in multiple ways, you know, and now there's a lot of actors that are respected for their craft, but then now there's, you know, it's a marketing world, which is fine. Whatever's working, man. Whatever's working.
Yeah, and as long as there's that balance, because the marketing's great, but the product can't be hurt by it. So, more in the mental health realm, living up to some of these models on magazine covers, or just, you know, people seeing you on a magazine cover.
Yeah.
What does that, when it comes to mental health, how does that affect you, or like even the viewer? What do you think about that, using Photoshop and all that?
Yeah. So I remember, man, like, people ask me, you know, because I've been super active, because I like having like a mystique life. You know, I like being like, people are like, I remember one time I did an interview on the street, somebody like, oh my God, like JT talks. Like bro, I talk, you know, like I actually could talk really well, you know, I just sometimes just be chilling, you know. So now that I've been more active on Snapchat, you know, and actually like engaging with my audience and just like having that conversation and definitely tapping in on the mental health. And that's one of the questions they always ask me, like, did you have insecurities as a model, you know, like being a, and to be honest, man, like, I think we all have our own insecurities. If it's not physical, if it's, you know, if it's finances or whatever, there's some type of insecurity that we have.
Yeah.
And I don't shy away from that, you know. I remember when I was coming up, I wasn't as big and fit as I am now. You know, I played professional rugby, but when I was playing rugby, I was very good on the offense side of things, because I knew how to play the game. I had the IQ, but when it came to defense, they would target me because I was a smaller guy.
Okay.
You know, and
you were smaller?
Yeah, I was small, bro. And I was playing with, you know, guys that look like me now.
Yeah.
You know, like, so I was like, you know what, man, I probably shouldn't do this anymore because I'm going to get really hurt. So let me go work out. Then I got a job at Abercrombie and Fitch. And at the time, that's when you was able to stand outside and take pictures with people, you know, like,
yeah.
And I didn't qualify for that position because I wasn't in shape. So I was like, you know what, let me work out and then get back into that. So that it didn't cause insecurity in me, but it caused more motivation in me. But what caused the insecurities was wanting to have the campaigns, wanting to have the fragrance, wanting to have the big jobs, wanting to shoot this photography. That, because I was like, how come, why not me? What does that person have that I don't have? So I started to compare myself, you know, to the two. And then once I realized it was taking a toll on me, you know, because I was trying to be somebody I was not, you know, I was trying to like fit in so hard, and that's not how God made me, you know, that's not, I was happy with who I was. And then once I filled into me, then things started to fall into my lap,
there you
know,
go.
Then I started to find those opportunities. So for people that deal with that, I always say, man, like, comparison is the thief of joy, you know, and you don't realize what you have because you're so focused on being on something that you're not. You know what I'm saying? So I've always made sure now, like in anything, because, bro, there's people that like come on, like shout out to Al too for these fitness videos that he shoots of me. I know you guys see them. They're incredible. They do so well. He's the one that shoots all my videos. He doesn't care to be tagged, and I sometimes don't want to tag because I like to gatekeep, you know, like, but he's the man. And for example, these videos, you know, for having the followers that I have, which we have great engagement, they do so well. But then you get somebody that shoots something on their iPhone and they'll get like 10 million views.
It's insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But if I sat there and compared analytics, bro, I would drive myself crazy.
I'd drive myself crazy.
Yeah. So now it's a good place that now we found what works. You know, we found what works for me.
Yeah.
You know,
we've got you into that algorithm.
Exactly. Now we're in the algorithm. Now we're just gonna push that. But if I sat there and compared followers and likes and everything, bro, I wouldn't be where I am today. I would, you know, it's hard.
Yeah.
And it's not something that you just wake up and do. You know, it's something you have to practice.
Grow into.
So
Now, Alec mentioned Photoshop too. So like, is that, I know women get, like their mental health is just crazy, right? I've heard all the stories about how like they just can't live up to the covers. They see the covers of these girls and stuff. Is it the same with men too? Like, do you guys like, do you look at a cover and be like, I don't even think I can get there? And if so, does Photoshop take place? Do they Photoshop abs if you don't have them, or do they say go get abs? Works, you know?
So that is a very good question. Now that everybody's on social media as well, Photoshop definitely takes place. I don't, in certain areas, obviously, if you're the more fitter guy, there's not much they have to do. You know what I'm saying? But I think a lot of the people do, it's insecurity. Like if you want to touch yourself up, cool, by all means, you know what I'm saying? But it could cause girls looking at other girls, tend to be like, damn, I'm never going to look like that, you know? And that's the part that's hard, that's the part. But I think it all starts when you have to make yourself happy. You have to believe in yourself. I remember there was times with me, like when I was, at the time I was in Paris and I worked with this one guy and he ended up shooting the cup. Like we auditioned, casting, he ended up shooting the cover of Rogan. This dude was, bro, like 8 abs, like diced, crazy. And I was like, damn, like I don't even think genetically I can get like that, So it's like, bro, that's not even like in my forte, like I'm cool with like, and then this part, and then next time he saw me, he's like, yo, Jay, I don't think I can get my chest like yours, so like everybody has their own thing, you know what I'm saying? I think for me, it's not looking at the cover trying to like look like physically look like that person, but more so being like, how come I don't get that cover?
And pronounce you as you.
Exactly. Why can I shoot the cover? It's not if I want to look like that person, but if any girl watching this or any guy, man, just make sure you feel as beautiful as you are,
That's the takeaway right there.
Yep.
So, bro, we shoot here in LA, soon to be shooting in Puerto Rico, but right now we're shooting in LA.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like LA at all? Like, traffic kills me. What do you think?
So, to be honest, traffic in PR is very bad.
Is it really? I was going to ask that earlier.
It's bad, man. It has.
Fuck, we're not moving to PR, boys.
Damn it.
So there's certain times of the day, like, that you have to, like, it's bad. It's bad. Obviously not as bad as here, but it's bad. Do I like LA? Yes, man. I love LA. LA has a special place in my heart, from, like I said, coming here. One thing I didn't like about LA was how superficial everything was, and just everybody trying to be somebody and, people selling you dreams. And it's a very different world, but everywhere has its both worlds to it. But here was a lot more of like opportunists, clout chasing, people trying to be friends with you to get something out of you. It's like, I didn't like that part of it because I'm from the East Coast. Like, we're real raw. You know how it is. We're real, we stay.
Say it as it is.
Like, it's facts. So, like,
bro, I be saying shit as it is, and people don't like that.
Yeah,
they don't like that here.
But that's the thing too. Like, I've had friends out here that I had to put them in place. Like, and that's not like, I'm not saying like I'm the toughest guy, but I'm not soft.
Yeah,
like I don't look for trouble or anything, but I'm not soft.
You're not gonna back down.
I'm not, never in my life. You know what I'm saying? If you test my ability, I'm gonna put you in your place. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to do that because people will try to walk all over you. You know?
Bro.
So I haven't made. I could count on my hand how many friends I've made here, and that are still my boys. You know what I'm saying? And they're not from here. They're from South.
I was just gonna say he's the only one that's from LA.
And I got some good ones, but like I feel like here, man, it's tough, man, because everybody's trying to do something, and like.
They always have an angle.
Yeah, bro. It's always something, is a motive behind things. So that's the part I probably will dislike. But the beautiful weather, the beautiful trees, the hikes, the desert, and you have the ocean. Like, you have California is a beautiful place, and I don't take anything away from that.
Besides the taxes. Fuck the taxes.
I think so in LA especially, I think there's people who just act, the girls act like bitches, the dudes act like assholes, right? They're nobodies.
Yeah.
The people who actually make it are super humble and chill.
I will completely agree with that.
I agree with that.
Yep.
I totally agree with that.
There's the people with 100,000 followers that think they're the toughest fucking shit. Like,
bro, it's bad. A lot of the places are like that, though. I think just with the follower count, people like Bro, I remember I went to a shoot. A dude came with his security, and I was like,
"Who the fuck is you?"
You know, I didn't want to say, like, you know, I don't really care about the follower count. It wasn't even like, just let's just say it's nowhere near my follower count, you know. But I was just like, and then he's like, yeah, I gotta be out this time. I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, bro, just be humble, bro. You know, like just stay humble, because at the end of the day, you could lose everything tomorrow.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? And people take like, it's tough, man. That's what we spoke about earlier, John. It's just that it's a blessing and a curse. Social media is a blessing. You know, it can change your life. It can help you. But then it can also make you think somebody you're not. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be real careful how you tap into
strong.
that world.
Yeah.
You know?
My thing is, like, I'm telling you might have your own opinion on it. You guys are going to laugh at me, but there's these girls that come from, like, small towns in the Midwest, right? And everyone tells them, oh, my God, you're so beautiful. You need to go to L.A. And they come to L.A. and they're like LA 6s around LA 10s, right? Yeah. And it's like those girls are the ones that are like the rudest, complete fucking bitches. And the 10s are just like, oh my God, you know, if you just asked them out on a date, they'll go with you.
I'll agree with that. A lot of the hot girls I shoot with who have followers are actually the nicest girls. Like the nicest.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I've met people with millions of followers and it's super nice. And I've met people that have low count. I don't like saying the number because I don't want anybody to take it offensive, but
you're gonna say this is about me. He's talking about me.
And they're like, and I'm just like, you know, and that's what something I don't act like that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't act like that in no magnitude for anybody, you know? So it's just kind of like, why are you acting that way?
Because they're from LA.
You know?
Says the LAite.
Los Angeles.
Litos.
Angelino.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so you touched on acting a little bit earlier. What have you done? So what are you doing for it too?
So I've taken a break from it. I haven't really been on it like that. I've done independents, I've done Amazons, I've made guest appearances on TV shows. But I focus on more of what was bringing the money in at the time. You know, it was a tough business to kind of snap into. I felt like it was a little bit harder on my end. I went in for a lot of lead roles, you know, and it's just the opportunities just never really presented. I went on things that like could have changed my life forever, you know, and I just sometimes, man, things don't. I don't know, you know, like I wouldn't say I gave up on it, but I just took a different route for the time being.
Yeah.
You know, I closed the door, but I got the keys. I didn't leave the keys inside, you know, like, but I'm just focusing on other things. And to be honest, I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now.
That's
you know, I'm actually having fun what I'm doing right now. And if the opportunity presents itself one day, I'm ready, you know, because I've studied acting for 2 years faithfully, you know, like I could recite 100 movies. I got my favorite actors, you know, so I'm always ready to get back in there if it's there, you know. But
I do a little bit of DPing, bro.
Yeah,
we might have to set something up.
Well, you got a roll for me. I'm ready.
You give me your agent. We'll line it all up.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Actually, fuck the agent. You just text me. Which would you say is harder? Like, and not, yeah, and this could be harder to break into. This could be harder physically, mentally, modeling or acting.
Definitely acting.
Yeah?
Yeah, modeling, you just stand there and look pretty.
Damn, son.
He wanted to get that one off.
Jordan's like,
he wanted to get that one out.
Jordan's like, fuck that guy.
I would say, like, obviously there's some times mine could be a little bit difficult. I wouldn't say like, it depends on your shyness or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not a very shy guy. Like I could connect. You know, I've been doing it for so long as well, you know, but acting, man, you got to tap into a different version of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, for me, I loved it. So it was my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of,
Excuse me.
I know, but tell the audience, what kind of workouts do you do? You're not like a big go in, use the machines and all that type of stuff. And
I don't even like going to the gym.
Is there pressure for you to stay fit?
Yes, absolutely. Obviously, my looks is my business. Yeah, like I am my own business. You know, am I tired of working out? Hell yeah. Like the fact I got to work out after this is like driving me crazy. Like I'm answering these questions and I'm like, you gotta go work out after this still. Like I'm starving, you know. But anyways, the pressure of staying fit, but it does help with my mental health, you know, and this is what I signed up for, to look like this, you know, and make money from it, which I'm blessed, you know, I'm grateful. I don't take anything away from that. I'm honored to be in the position I'm in my life. But yeah, so I changed my workout about 6-7 years ago. I only do strictly calisthenics.
Okay.
Which is pull-ups, push-ups, dips, and bodyweight squats. You guys can say what you want. You need to do your legs, whatever. My legs is just fine. I'm 6'2". I like slim legs. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. You know, I want to look good. My physique has always been superhero.
You're not trying to win Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. So, like, I focus on those things. And, bro, obviously, like, it does get very boring, you know, and you start to plateau. But now me launching my fitness app, me and my team were creating a program that develops these same muscle groups, you know, with weights or whatever. And now I'll contribute weights into my program because I'm going to do the program that you're doing to make sure you're on it, you know. But yeah, man, it's changed my body. And I think that's what helped me in my career as well, you know.
Yeah. So being a model, you a fashion guy or no?
Yeah, I get swag,
bro. I mean,
I'm in sweats and shit right now because you know how we like chilling.
That's how I am.
We chill, boys. We chilling. But yeah, I got some pieces and some. I got some stuff in my closet that is a fortune.
We talking about the.
That's
I don't know if you I don't know if you talk about that shit.
You can talk about it.
Yeah, you want to talk about
which one?
that?
The new one?
Yeah, which one, bro? How about both of them?
Yeah, I got.
You see these online, bro?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you got to tell me.
I got some crazy chains.
Boy got iced out.
Two big ones. I got a 600-gram Cuban and I got a 800-gram Cuban.
We'll throw a picture up on the screen.
Yeah. Do a post. Should
we do one of the close friends ones?
Yeah. Never drinking again.
Yeah, there we go. Oh shit. All right, I got a question for you, bro.
Talk to me.
Easier for you to find a date before or after you started modeling?
I'm a pretty
for a famous brand. So like when you hit that national spectrum.
I think where I'm at in my life now is a bit easier.
Okay.
It's definitely a bit easier because I wouldn't say it's because it's crazy. Like I didn't know this many people know me, you know, like, so it's kind of crazy to see it. It's obviously easier now, but before all of this, I was still a pretty boy. I was still a cutie, you know, like I was still getting that.
I got you.
But now it's like, now it's a little, because I think now in today's society, people want people that have their shit together, you know, and I got my shit together real well. And, you know, I have something that I'm doing, you know, so it's obviously easier, but that ain't all it for me, man, too, though. Like I'm very, very, very picky. So
have you ever had issues getting a job because of the tattoos? I think it looks sick, by the way. Like I want tattoos. I think I need to put on a little bit more size, and then I can have some fun.
You're almost there. He got a hoodie on because he's hiding his.
He's hiding his gains
right now.
Exactly.
He's being humble.
Exactly.
But yeah, bro. I think so. I got to a point in my career where
they now look for that look.
Yeah, but I just didn't give a fuck anymore. You know, so like, I went and got this whole sleeve in one session. Like this whole.
How
thing.
long did it take?
7 hours.
Jesus Christ.
So
wow.
I went, and then, you know, I'm sure I've lost jobs now, but it was weird because before I had any tattoos, I was still the, like, you know, urban Latino guy. I was still categorized as that, you know? So I think I could have had tattoos because when I work with guys, they'll come in tatted, and I'm like, bro, I'm not getting tattoos. This guy's fully tatted, you know? Like, so I'm sure it has lost opportunities, but I would say I love the way I look with my tattoos. You know, I think it adds that little flavor to who I am. You know, and all my tattoos have meaning. You know?
They look sick on camera when we shoot, bro.
Yeah,
like, you already
sick,
know.
bro.
Like,
if I was a little bit more like ballsy, bro, I'll have my neck. You know, like I'll have something right here. I'll have my chest. I'll have my stomach. I'll do my whole leg. Like, I had artists where they do my whole leg. They're like, yo, I'll come to PR and stay with you for 2 weeks, and we'll do your whole leg. And I was like, all right, let's do it. You know,
You gonna do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my whole, probably my whole right leg.
Okay.
And then when I have a family, I'm gonna put my family on my back.
I like that. You got anything in mind for the leg or the leg?
So I fell in love with the pieces, like the separation like this. So I'm probably gonna just do like a lot of like meaningful things on my leg. Like, I'm all into like angels and hearts and birds and all that stuff. So we're coming up with like a theme that fits that.
I wish we touched on this a little bit earlier and gotten more into it, but some of your monetization strategies, you've got multiple pages, multiple income sources. Let me hear about them. I know you got Fields by JT, a couple others.
So obviously Fisher JT is the main branding one.
That's the only one I know about.
That's the one you know about, yeah. So Official JT is more of like my brand deals, a different vibe, more of the, like the dumps and stuff like that. That's originally what started, and what transitions to Fields by JT is more of my modeling work, more of my provocative side, more of the sexier stuff, and which is going to branch off into my underwear line.
Oh shit, bro! You monetize like no one else.
Yeah,
like that's
bro.
why you're the fucking man.
So I'm always, source of income is always my biggest thing, and Fields by JT is it. It does really well because it's two different personas, you can say, from Official JT to Fields by JT. All of JT's my private like little spam account that I got creative with, and I'm only accepting a few people in there. So if you see it, get in there quick because I'm gonna shut it down soon. But that's more of like my spam and, just for the real loyal ones.
I got you.
And yeah, that's about it from the Instagram side of things. But yeah, man, I'm always thinking of new ideas to keep my audience happy, and I have such a loyal fan bases too, man. So.
Yeah, no, it's incredible, bro, what you've built. Just when we shoot and you tell me about some of these strategies, your calendars. That sounds like such a stupid thing, but it's so smart.
And the way I shoot my calendar at the end of the year, which is what Fields by JT, the way I shoot the calendar at the end of the year, it's a different story every year. So the first year was in a studio with blonde hair. My second year was at home, so it was like Fields with JT in the studio, Fields with JT at home. And then the third issue was in Puerto Rico.
I got you.
So I shot it in the jungle,
Yo.
And it was sick, and it's cool, bro, because when some of my, my fans tag me and stuff, bro, they have like all three issues, and they like, when it's November, they're like, when's pre-orders, when it's dropping? So I created something that was cool.
It's going to be a collectible one day, bro.
No, for sure. But it's not like your average calendar. Like on December, I'm not wearing a Santa Claus hat, like it's more of like a calendar, like a coffee table book.
I got you.
So it allows me to create art in my own form that I've always wanted to do, because I'm very like creative, bro. And being a model, I know how to make myself look good and create things in a form of fashion where people find it tasteful.
Keep on doing it, bro. Keep
Facts.
on doing it. Is there anything more we should hit? Anything you wanted to ask?
Well, what was there was another IG handled as well. Did we talk about that one?
Yeah.
All of it. So I guess it sounds like you have an OnlyFans account. Do you do OnlyFans as well?
Yeah, I'm on there. Chilling.
Another monetization.
Yep.
Nothing like it.
And it's a platform where, Instagram has restricted a lot of content for creators, So it's an exclusive content website where I'm able to, pose how I want to pose, wear what I want to wear, and not feel restricted, because sometimes it could be perceived as something else. So I was glad that a platform allows you to create, and give the audience what they want to see and what they like.
It's all about what they want, right?
Exactly.
And I think it's rare for a guy. I mean, you have a good amount of followers on all the social medias, right? I think it's rare. Mostly women do well because, men want to see women and women want to see women. And so women do better.
Yeah.
You have a great following. I mean, are your followers mainly guys, girls?
To be honest, it's more of guys, but there's girls in there as well, and I think that's why I do well in the sense of like brand deals and stuff, because I have guys that, you know, want to dress like me, or, you know, they actually purchasing these things that I'm selling. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to connect with these guys that, like, you know, for advice or fitness tips, clothing style, you know, then girls that, you know, like me or think I'm attractive. Sometimes girls follow me just for inspo for their boyfriend as well. You know what I'm saying? Which is cool. Like,
that's crazy.
Whatever. Bro, I've had boyfriends buy my calendar for their girlfriend, you know?
All right, that sounds a little wild, to be honest.
I mean, but I think it's cool though.
No, it's cool.
I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
But shout out to him. You know, like, yo, bro, you a beast. Like, teach me your ways, you know?
Well, they do say that the bigger you get, the better looking you get. The guys are looking at you and not the girls. Right?
Yeah.
That's what it's.
Yeah. And I think it's cool, man, to now have, right, guys actually support guys instead of hating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like there's guys that get intimidated by me on multiple occasions. Like, I walk in a spot and dudes is already grilling me, you know, like, it never fails. I've had multiple guys slide in my DMs, yo, don't message my girl, or yo, my girl follows you, make her unfollow you, like, yo, my girl, like, on multiple occasions. So it's cool when I actually have guys that show me love. And once I get that natural, genuine connection, we end up being friends. You know, I've had guys just, you know, pull me aside and be like, yo, bro, like, I respect what you do, bro. I look up to you. And that means a lot to me, you know? Right. And I'm like, yo, whatever you need help with, message me. I'm going to try to help you how I can, you know? Because, bro, it's rare. It's rare to get people actually supporting you and not hating on you, especially me. I'm the most hated. So,
bro, in this city, no one likes to support each other.
Nope.
Josh and I talk about this a lot.
All the time. Yeah, I think it's just an LA thing. I think everywhere else, everyone loves to help each other. It's just LA. Shit on you. It's all about me, and me. Right?
Okay. Last question. What's the craziest fucking DM you've ever gotten, bro? What's the craziest request, the craziest DM?
I think, so, bro, the craziest DMs doesn't even matter because they craziest. I think the craziest situation I've been in was a catfish situation. Oh, go. And, you know, like, I think now it's a lot easier because AI, you know, and stuff like that. And Instagram, you know, they actually helped a lot with this. But, so a girl messaged me, and, bro, because my pictures is all, like, you could, like, dating websites, like, everything. They use them for everything. 100 fake Instagram, 100 fake Facebooks, whatever. So they added the call feature on Instagram. I know, like, at the time, I was like, audio call, so I turned it off instantly, you know, whatever. I didn't think, bro, I had like 40 missed calls in like 5 minutes. So I'm like, yo, what is going on? I'm thinking just, you know, like, whatever, fan, you know, whatever, I'm not tripping. Like, I don't really pay mind to it. So I get a long message from like another account from like, it says like, hey, this is such and such's mom. We're trying to contact you because my daughter's being catfished. And I was like, well, you know, now it's somebody's mom. You know, I went through the page. I made sure it was legit because, you know, I wouldn't want somebody to go through this, you know, like whatever. Somebody's mom, somebody's daughter. Like, I'm thinking like, what's happening, you know? Instantly, I knew it was about being catfished. So I'm like, hey, is everything okay? And she's like, no, we just found out the real you, you know, like this guy has been talking to my daughter for like, bro, I think it was like a year and a half.
Oh, this is straight like, what's that show on MTV?
Catfish.
Yeah, it's called Catfish. Yeah, this is straight up just like that.
So I'm thinking like, okay, like, and what's wrong? Like, you know, what's going on? And she's like, well, her friends did some deep research because my daughter's been full. Like, bro, it was so bad to the T that like this person had like pictures of like everything. Like he had enough. He was sending pictures of me and my mom. Like he had enough. He went through my family's. Like he had enough content to make it believe like this like if I was to like tweet something, he'll be able to like, bro, at any time of the day. So long story short, I'm like, whoa. So she's like, yeah. I'm like, whatever. And she's like, yeah, you guys are supposed to be getting married in Paris, and the flight was booked and everything.
Wow.
So I'm like, wait, and then the girl messages me and she's like, wait, are you the real you? I'm like, wait. I'm like, you never think about FaceTime? He's like, he always said he was working or he always had excuses. And then, bro, they even video shopped a video I did like in the car listening to music, saying her name and everything. Like, bro, it was the trippiest thing ever. So I was
is
like,
crazy.
bro, it was crazy. So I responded to the girl. And she's like, I'm like, yo, I'm so sorry you went through this. Like, like, I wish, like, because Google Images, you could do all that. You could like put my image, it'll show up my Instagram, whatever. But the dude like blocked the Instagram and said like, I talked to my private account since I have such a huge account. Like, like. And this girl was thinking she was gonna get married, bro.
You got to meet her in person one day, unless you already have.
I haven't, but I would love to, But I think that kind of like, scared her. It kind of like
it should,
and it put her in different perspective. Like she didn't know how to deal with that, so it was tough. It was even tough on me. And now like if I get like it gets to that extent, like there was even another group of guys. There was 5 guys that was making pages and messaging girls in Switzerland. I had like 20 DMs a day from girls in Switzerland messaging me.
What are these guys' end result though? Like he was always making an excuse. You said right, so that they couldn't go to the wedding. But like what?
That's fucked.
What is his end goal?
They couldn't go to the wedding.
It's got to stop at some point. What is he trying to get at the end of the day?
Man, I think for them it became like a I'm sure there was a void that person was missing that it felt, and maybe they used my likeness for that love, which it's sad to say, I wish you never felt like that.
No, that makes sense.
But it's like, bro, don't take advantage of other people doing that, what I'm saying? And I never was able to like, never really much followed up. I checked up probably like 2 weeks later, like, hey, is everything okay? Like, I'm such sorry about that. I made a public post about it. But yeah, man.
No, you make those pretty often.
Huh?
You make those posts pretty often.
I have to.
I know you do.
Bro, I had people messaging me daily.
Bro, it's crazy.
I'm not going to see you today. Why'd you block me? Are you going to call me back? And it's just like, and like the last one I did, I was frustrated. And then people was even mad at that. Oh, who do you think you are? You're not that hot. Why are you talking like that? You could say it much nicer. I'm like, bro, you know what I got to deal with? You address
it weekly or bi-weekly.
Some people would message my mom. My mom deleted all her social media. I just spoke about this too. My mom deleted all her social media because of, bro, somebody messaged my mom and was like, your son's not talking to me. And my mom's like, what? And then another person messaged my mom and goes, hey, mom, send me money. I need money. My mom's like, my son doesn't need money. I call my son for money.
Wait. They DM'd to her asking, that's what, pretending to be you?
Yeah. And they find all my mom's stuff. And it's like, bro, like, I get it. Like, between all my platforms, I'm sitting on a big chunk, but like, of followers. But it's like, guys, why? Just let me be at peace, bro. Like, you could see, I'm about to go do Runyon. You could see me there. Like, I'm not as cool as you think I am. Like, I'm pretty cool. I'll take that back. But,
you're pretty cool.
But I'm a chill guy, you know? Like, bro, you probably will bump into me. More than likely. I don't know where, but you probably bump into me. Just, because then, I go to Texas and I have an amazing time. I'll have 400 people show up in Texas.
How was
party?
Speaking on that, is El Paso coming up or did that already happen? I saw you promoting that. You want to promote it real quick?
When you dropping this?
It'll probably be after. I think this will be episode 2.
So 2 weeks ish.
Yeah.
June 29th, we in El Paso, baby. So if you're seeing this, come out to El Paso. I'm going for the weekend. We're gonna have a blast. That's the first. Nobody knows the date, but yeah, June 29th, bro. And it's crazy. We already have like, bro, it's crazy. My motion out there is sick, and it's so much love, bro. Because like it's a smaller city.
Oh, true.
So like, like
heat the fuck out of it,
bro. And like, and people don't only like me from knowing who I am, bro. I know how to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna party with me, you're gonna have a blast. So. I used to do it a lot more often, but I kind of got burnt out by it. But now I only do like 3 special ones a year.
Okay.
And El Paso is one of them this year.
That's sick, bro. That's fucking sick.
Word.
Bro, all right, this is the last thing. Some people say grind your gears. I say grind your titties. So what grinds your fucking titties? What gets you fucking angry?
I think rude people, bro.
Rude people, okay.
I think being rude to people really twists my pecs.
Titty twisters.
I just don't like, because for example, like, man, like sometimes like we don't know how much longer we have on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And I think being nice to people, you never know where they could get you. You know what I'm saying? And I think just being able to help somebody, or just, give a helping hand, or just give somebody advice, or just taking helping a lady take her bags out the car, or helping an older man upstairs, like, You know, helping somebody at Starbucks.
Holding the
I just
door.
don't like people that are rude. And if you're rude or whatever you're going through, I don't think you should take it out on other people.
Yeah.
You know, like just don't leave the house if you're going to be mean to other people because you never know what people are going through. So I just don't like mean people.
I agree
Don't
with that.
like mean
I
people.
That's
like
why
that,
you're
bro.
not in LA.
That's why I bounced.
There we
Alec,
go.
what's yours?
What grinds my titties today? I can't say that.
I kind of know what grinds it.
You kind of know what he's.
Ha!
You know,
Can't say that one
you know
either.
exactly where I'm going.
Can't say that person either. Josh, you grind my titties.
sorry.
Yeah, fake ass motherfuckers.
That's a good
That
one.
grinds my titties.
Mine, I have so many. Mine are petty sometimes though. Like especially in LA, like driving, it's like insane, right? So like everywhere else I've driven, every other state is you put your blinker on so you can get over.
I feel that.
In LA, they literally speed up to cut the
Yup.
space off when you put your blinker on. So now in LA, nobody uses their blinkers because it's easier to get into the spot you want to get into.
Yep.
That's me.
That's.
So you,
Oh, you're. I'm
I'm still
that
a New
way
York
too.
driver. I'm still a New York
Nah,
driver.
so I'm against that like non-blinker stuff, bro.
Oh no, I use my blinkers.
Oh, okay,
But like
okay.
I am the one to.
But yeah, he's
speed
so
up
right
and,
about
like,
that. Like people would
You're not cutting me off.
No, but it's like, bro, like, what is that gonna change in your day if you just let me in?
exactly.
My cortisol levels, is that what it is?
This guy's nuts.
It does change the.
But I feel
No,
that.
I'll be the person. If you cut me off, I will drop back, switch lanes, speed up, jump ahead of you, and then that's
Just
it.
to do, just to
And he
give him the
feels
bird.
good about
I
that.
feel very good about myself.
Whatever. As long as you feel good, just be safe, man. That's it.
It's the reason I drive a shitty car. Okay, we're not taking chances in a Lambo.
Facts.
Bro, where can they find you at? Where can they not
Pretty-
get catfished at by you,
Well,
by someone else?
yeah, pretty easy now, man. Just official JT.
Okay,
You know, official JT. Feels by JT.
those are all linked in your bio,
exes,
right?
Yeah, my ex is it's official JT. But dude, make sure you guys get me on Snapchat. Snapchat is where it's
That's
at.
going crazy.
Snapchat's going crazy. Really is JT. We're having a blast over there. But yeah, thank you, boys. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Al, for having me.
My fucking guy.
Great conversation, you know. We boys.
It's easy enough,
Hopefully
bro.
we can help somebody. Influential. Yeah. And I said, be a good person. Don't be rude.
My fucking guy.
You already know.
Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. Make sure to tune in next week. Let me know who you want to see, what you want to hear about. Comment, like, subscribe, and tell a friend. We'll see you next week. Peace, motherfuckers.